Good day to you all, and welcome back. Welcome to the start of a new half term. And who knows, fingers crossed, as we move closer towards the Easter period, we're hoping that we'll have more and more of you back into school. So, a new half term means a new value to focus on in our assemblies. And if we look upon the hall wall there, we see after our work on perseverance, we're now looking at compassion. Compassion. So the aim of this assembly is to explain what compassion is and also why it is important to be compassionate. So first of all, we need to work out, and the Oxford Dictionary defines compassion as sympathetic pity and concern for the sufferings or misfortunes of others. So, feeling compassionate might make you or might make a person go out of their way to help another person in physical, mental, or emotional pain. There is also something called self-compassion, where you might help yourself, and that is also important. So that's what it means. What does it look like? To be compassionate, we must, I'll read through this list, we must be sensitive to other people's feelings, to their emotions and their suffering. We must feel for other people. We must want to prevent other people from suffering. We must want to end another person's suffering. We must be helpful to others. We must show warmth to others. We must care for others, and we must be kind and fair. I think that if we were all together in the school hall, if I asked for examples from your day in school, you would put your hand up and give me some really good examples of compassion being shown in the school. So I want you to have a think now. If you were back in school, those of you who can remember that far back, think of a time when you were able to show compassion. I wonder if any of you can think about the word that describes the experience of when you are experiencing the same feelings as another person. To share another person's feelings is called empathy. Now, that's what compassion looks like. Compassionate. Well, when we don't act compassionately, we might not care for other people. We might be acting selfishly. We might not notice other people's feelings, their emotions and their suffering. We might even cause other people's suffering. We're unhelpful, we're cold towards others, and we can be unkind and unfair. So have a think. Does everyone acting compassionately towards each other all the time? And what can we do to help people show compassion? The important thing is that we think carefully before we do anything. We could make sure that what we are doing is what is best for others, not just ourselves. We should make sure we're sympathetic to other people's feelings, to their situations, to their problems, and to their suffering. Have a think. Is there suffering going on in the world now that makes you concerned for others? And are there people you know that you feel compassion for? Let's look at some real examples, okay, of what being compassionate looks like. Well, first of all, the first example is that children and adults might show compassion for someone else by asking them how they are, by helping them, by comforting them when they're upset, or by listening to them when they're suffering. People might be compassionate within their jobs, by caring for other people. If you work in the medical profession, that often involves showing compassion, as you need to understand someone else's suffering and want to help them. It's possible to feel compassionate for people who you haven't met. Giving money and fundraising for charities is a way of showing your compassion for other people's situations. Who shows lots of compassion? Well, let's look at some examples. Nurses and paramedics are some of the people who treat and care for people who need help. Charity workers show compassion for people and animals by giving their time to help others and by raising money. And carers care for children, people who are unwell, the elderly, and other people who need extra help. I wonder, can you think of any other professions where someone shows lots of compassion? And going to end on a reflection. We could show compassion by listening, by helping and caring. Remember to be kind to one another and to treat others how we want to be treated. Try to show compassion every day. There is no limit. It never runs out.